The part of that that just strikes a chord with me is this idea of you can learn anything. You can learn it. There is this curiosity
Yeah.
in interesting leaders that doesn't die with age, doesn't calcify, just gets more passionate over time. Their
Yeah.
need to learn, their need to grow. And it seems to be in short supply many times. And I'm wondering if we can't find a way in companies to make this curiosity more systemic.
I think part of it, I agree. And I think part of it is there has to be a muscle built to unlearn. There has to be a fundamental humility that what I know may be dated. What I know may no longer serve me to the degree that something else I could learn. And it's why immigrants and refugees are so good at founding businesses, and they're so good at scaling amazing business. They have had to unlearn their whole lives. They have had to leave being a doctor in their country and go start over as a waitress somewhere else and then build their way back up. And they saw their parents do that. This ability to unlearn, this humility, to not have to keep building on the platform you're on. And that means being comfortable with being a novice. And that means being comfortable with being bad at something. And that can be really scary for a mature, seasoned leader who believes their identity and the trust that others have in them is rooted on them being certain. And that takes a lot of work and therapy, and I'm not a licensed therapist, so I can't solve the problem. But the first step is acknowledging that, is that there is a very real issue with the emotional side of how we view ourselves and what our identity is tied to. And if we believe our identity is tied to being reliable and the one who has the answers today, of course we are going to resist learning something new, being a novice. I know some leaders that have said, look, I know I need to learn that. I'm going to go take a private course. They would never want to learn or grow in public. And if you don't learn and grow in public, how do we expect to build cultures of people that are also willing to learn and grow real time under the bright light of public scrutiny and of peer observation? We have to do it ourselves first. Like, great leaders don't ask others to do what they wouldn't do themselves. And so I think maybe it's because of where I came from. Again, my mom, just very humble beginnings that I will never forget, that in the scheme of things still weren't that long ago. To me, reframing fail as, and I heard this somewhere decades ago and it stuck with me, but first attempt in learning. Fail is not failing. It's not bad. It's just a first attempt in learning. Of course, I'm not going to be great at it, but you first have to be willing to say, I'm new to this. I'm learning it. And that there is again, the irony of courage and confidence is that it is rooted in humility and curiosity, not the other way around. And so I hope that, people who see this, other leaders you and I have the pleasure of interacting with and continuing to learn from, is that root of growth, the willingness to be vulnerable, the willingness to fail as first attempt in learning, the willingness to be on a journey to unlearn something that might have served us, that is actually the muscle we need to build in order to address getting people to learn more and more frequently over time.